What if I told you that the difference between a prisoner and a free person isn't the bars on their windows, but the bars they build in their own minds? There was once a man who lost everything in a single moment of anger. His business, his family, his reputation, all gone. But what he discovered in the ruins of his life changed everything, not just for him, but for everyone who heard his story. This is not just another motivational speech. This is the story of Marcus, a man who learned that real power doesn't come from controlling others. It comes from controlling yourself. Marcus was a successful businessman. He had built a small tech company from scratch, employing over 50 people. He was married to his college sweetheart, Sarah, and they had 2 beautiful children. His office overlooked the city skyline, a reminder of how far he'd come. But beneath the surface of success, something dark was brewing. Marcus had a problem he refused to acknowledge. He couldn't control his temper. In meetings, if someone disagreed with him, his face would turn red. His voice would rise. People learned to stay quiet around him, not because he was right, but because they were afraid. At home, it was worse. A burnt dinner could trigger an explosion. His children learned to tiptoe around the house, measuring his mood before approaching him. Sarah tried to help. "Marcus, you need to talk to someone. This anger is destroying us." But Marcus would brush it off. "I'm just passionate," he'd say. Successful people are intense. Then came the day that changed everything. During a crucial investor meeting, one of his partners questioned a decision Marcus had made. It was a reasonable question, a valid concern, but to Marcus, it felt like betrayal. He exploded. Not just yelling, he threw a laptop across the conference room. It shattered against the wall, inches from an investor's head. The room went silent. Within a week, the investors pulled out. His partners forced him out of his own company. Sarah took the children and moved to her mother's house. Marcus sat alone in his empty apartment, surrounded by the wreckage of his life. And for the first time, he asked himself a question that changed everything. Who is really in control here? Desperate and broken, Marcus started walking. He walked through the city, through parks, trying to clear his head. That's when he stumbled into a small community center where an old martial arts master named Chen was teaching a class. Marcus watched through the window. Children and adults moving with precision and calm, not fighting, practicing control. He walked in. "Can you teach me to fight?" Marcus asked. Master Chen smiled. "I don't teach people to fight. I teach them to have nothing to fight against." Marcus didn't understand, but he was desperate. He joined the class. The first lesson was humiliating. Not because it was physically hard. It was standing still. Just standing, breathing, and observing his own thoughts. "Your enemy is not out there," Master Chen said, pointing to Marcus's chest. "Your enemy is in here. And until you make peace with that enemy, you will never know peace." For the first time in years, Marcus listened. Master Chen taught him a fundamental truth. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is your power to choose your response. Marcus began to practice. Not martial arts moves, but the art of the pause. When anger arose, instead of reacting, he would breathe. Count to 5. Observe the emotion like a wave. It would rise, peak, and fall. It was the hardest thing he'd ever done. But slowly, something began to change. 6 months into his practice, Marcus got a call. It was one of his former business partners. "Marcus, we made a mistake. The company is struggling without your vision. We want you to come back. We'll give you equity, a leadership position." The old Marcus would have celebrated, would have felt vindicated. But the new Marcus paused. He realized something profound. His self-worth was no longer tied to external validation. He didn't need to prove anything to anyone. He declined the offer. Instead, he started small. He got a job as a consultant, working from home. He reached out to Sarah, not demanding anything, but apologizing, truly apologizing. "I was wrong," he told her. "I let my emotions control me, and I hurt the people I love most. I'm not asking you to come back. I'm just asking for the chance to show you that I'm changing." Over the coming months, she saw something different. When their son got in trouble at school, he didn't explode. He listened. He spoke calmly. 1 year later, Sarah agreed to couples therapy. 2 years later, they renewed their vows. Self-control is not about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming truly free. When you're controlled by your emotions, you're a puppet. But when you master yourself, you cut those strings. You choose your dance. This is real power. Marcus learned that the greatest battles are fought in quiet moments when no one is watching. Today, Marcus teaches these principles to others. "I lost everything," he tells his students, "to find the one thing that matters: control over myself." What will you choose? Will you continue to be a passenger in your own life, or will you claim your power? The choice is yours. Start today. One moment at a time. Self-control is real power, and that power belongs to you.